Greetings, everyone. This is Hong Long with Hong Long Wuja. Today, we are talking about the genocide in Gaza. This weekend, demonstrations took place across the world, with 1 million taking to the streets in London, 50,000 in Paris, where demonstrations have been declared illegal, and in Germany, tens of thousands of people took to the streets in almost every major city. On Sunday in Las Vegas, hundreds took to the street to demonstrate against the genocide that's going on in Gaza for at least the 5th time since the October 7th uprising began. Today, I want to discuss the socialist perspective and what is to be done about the genocide that we see unfolding before our eyes. That is unfolding before the eyes of the entire world. This horror that is being allowed to continue is exposing the rot that has set in all of the imperialist countries. It has also exposed large layers of the upper middle class for the supporters of imperialism and reaction that they are. Here I'm speaking about the supposed socialist that sits in the Senate, Mr. Bernie Sanders, who 1 week ago should have put the final nail in the coffin of his claim to be a socialist when he said that there could be no ceasefire with Hamas, and therefore no stop to the death and destruction being carried out upon the population of Gaza. This includes congressional representatives of the DSA like AOC who support the delivery of weapons to Israel. And along these lines, there was just a rally held in Washington supported by both parties in power, the media, the entire corporate America, and they were only able to draw 10,000 people to the mall in Washington, demonstrating just how bankrupt their policies are and just how out of touch with the majority of the population they are. But then they are supporting genocide. And while the genocide, and make no mistake about it, that is exactly what this ethnic cleansing operation is. It isn't a war that requires two belligerents. This is genocide. This is genocide and is allowed to continue with the political support of every Western government. It should be put paid to any claims that they've made in the past, or that they presently make, or that they will make in the future to be standing for democratic rights. In France, where Macron is worried about a rebellion, demonstrations against the genocide have been outlawed. And like I said, they've been taking place anyway. In Germany, which just saw the anniversary of Kristallnacht last week, it's been made illegal to display the Palestinian flag or any symbols of the Palestinian people, or even photographs of Palestinian children being massacred. India has banned any protests in the Kashmir, the only Muslim majority state, while here in the United States, when a U.S. congressperson deigns to criticize the bourgeois policy of open support for the relentless slaughter of civilians, the majority of whom are children, she's censured for her political beliefs. Billionaires have come on television stating that they will not hire the Harvard students who signed a petition to stop the genocide. The fascist governor of Florida has banned the Students for Justice for Palestine in the state university system, while Brandeis University in Massachusetts became the first private university to ban the group on Monday. Last Friday, Columbia University in New York followed Brandeis by not only suspending the SJP, but also the anti-Zionist Jewish Voice for Peace through the end of the fall term. Our government, led by Genocide Joe, has said that there are no red lines that Israel can cross in their slaughter of Gaza. And as we have seen, they will keep reiterating this mantra no matter how many hospitals are bombed unless they are forced to change their policy. This is not hyperbole. Literally, they've been bombing hospitals over and over and over again, justifying their war claims by saying that they are legitimate military targets. These governments cannot be forced to change their policy through divestment strategies. The way to do this was shown by the Palestinian General Federation of Trade Unions, who called for workers around the world to refuse to build weapons destined for Israel, refuse to transport weapons to Israel, to take action against complicit companies involved in implementing Israel's brutal and illegal siege. 2 weeks ago, Belgian airport unions called on workers not to handle arms shipments to Israel. Last week, Barcelona dock workers said they would refuse to handle munitions headed for Israel. There have been similar actions by workers across the United States and in Australia. In California and Washington, there was an action against the ship Cape Orlando, which was headed towards Israel with military supplies. In Tucson, Arizona, against Raytheon at Boeing in Missouri and at Elbit Systems in Massachusetts. These were not taken with the blessings of the union leadership, however, who stand one and all shoulder to shoulder with Genocide Joe, as could be seen with Sean Fain of the at the UA rally last week, or even here in Las Vegas with the Culinary Union. Sent out a tweet last Friday thanking Genocide Joe for his continued leadership. Everyone but those who sit at the very top of society and their sycophants agree that this genocide must stop. But as socialists, we do not support the tactic of calling for divestment. As I've said, it's not up to us to beg the bourgeoisie to stop sending Israel weapons and munitions, to stop investing in the Zionist state or companies. What needs to be done now to stop the horror of hundreds of thousands of children dying, of hospitals, refugee camps, and schools being bombed over and over and over and over again, to see over half of all the houses turn to rubble, with that percentage increasing every day by the hour. Now is not the time to go to the bourgeoisie on bended knee, cap in hand, and beg them for decency. They have none. They are responsible for this slaughter, and it is up to workers to end it through a concerted struggle. The way to do this is to heed the call of the Palestinian General Federation of Trade Unions by refusing to handle any munitions, any military arms going to Israel. And as workers do this, they should build for a general strike to shut these governments down until this genocide stops.